Performance from start to finish. How did you feel about your work in there tonight?
And I felt really good. Like I said, coming off of my last two fights, I've only had about 2.5 minutes of work, and that's in over a year's time. So it felt really good to get 15 minutes. It felt really good to kind of test myself, and it felt really good to show more than one facet of my game. You guys haven't been able to see much the past year, except maybe a lack of my jiu-jitsu defense, but I think I was able to show have decent striking, decent wrestling, have good clinch work, cage work, and so it all came together tonight, and I'm happy about it.
You talk about the past performances. I mean, was there like an added pressure or anything, a burden on your shoulders at all coming in tonight?
Honestly, not really. I'm very grateful. Every time, if you wonder why when you see me walking out ticket, I have a big-ass smile on my face all the time, because I'm so happy to be here. I'm so grateful for the opportunity, and I love this stuff. I love this shit. I realize how fortunate I am to be able to do this for a living, and so when I make that walk, I realize that anything can happen. A loss is kind of just loss. Don't get me wrong, I hate losing, but like it's not the end of the world. And since I've had that perspective 3 or 4 years in MMA now, like my performances have kind of come together. Not my last two, obviously, but like just it's healthy for me more mentally too. So I realize this is something I get to do. It's a pleasure, and I try to go out there and enjoy it every single time, no matter the outcome.
Like you said, great performance from start to finish. Did 135 pounds have anything to do with it?
I mean, definitely this week, mentally, the burden of, shit, I got to cut all this weight in 4 days, that wasn't there. So I felt great this entire week. Making 35s was a piece of cake compared to making 25. So, my fight week was a lot better because of that.
Would there be any thought to stay there then?
Possibly. I don't think my coaches like that very much. But, like, when I'm training and I'm in really good shape, I will only walk around, like, low 40s. So I'd be a small 35er. Like, how do I feel? And I feel great, and I'm happy. But, like, I do think I would be on the smaller end. So unless I put on some weight and walked around maybe, like, mid-50s or lower 50s and then cut to 35, I'd be open to that.
Nice. And you had the call out ready to go. So why is that the right fight for you next?
The main reason I called him out, well, I called out for Fight Island because I have never even been overseas once, let alone for fighting. And two, I was offered Tyson Nam like 3 weeks ago, and he turned me down. So I figured I would call him out to put a little pressure for him to take the fight. And maybe now he will, since he's probably going to get a knockout bonus, and he just had a great win. So maybe this pressures him to take the fight with me.
Jordan, you guys have been obviously sequestered, but when you mentioned Tyson Nam, have you been able to catch a glimpse of him around this week?
Oh, yeah, I saw him, but, like, we've never spoken or, like, there's no animosity or anything. I actually like his style. I've seen him fight several times. And I watched his fight, and he looked good. I mean, all 20 seconds or whatever it was, he knocked the guy out with the first punch he threw. So, yeah.
What was the experience like for you to fight without the fans in the Apex?
So I was on the Contender Series twice, so it wasn't that much different. I feel like this cage was smaller than even the Contender Series cage I fought on. I don't know that for sure, but as far as the fans, it wasn't bad. I was able to hear everything from my corner. I was able to hear everything from his corner. But I knew that wouldn't be a big deal. We do kind of fight simulations at the gym and stuff, so it was kind of similar to that. Honestly, I had zero nerves once I stepped in the cage. I felt real calm. I heard everything, and yeah, it was less nerve-wracking, which is cool.
Some things in Vegas are open, some things are still closed. Have you thought about how you're going to celebrate tonight?
I know I'm going to have a couple drinks. I just don't know where. I'm going to do it with my team. Usually my family's out with me, but they can't, obviously, because of COVID-19. But probably just a few drinks.
Jordan right here. In that first round, unofficial stats said you landed 103 strikes, most of which were on one leg. So what was that first round?
God damn. It's crazy because I saw that when I was in the back doing my interview, and I was like, I did not realize I landed that much. It's super cool. I don't feel like I'm a crazy high-volume kind of person, but if I can outstrike someone 5-1 or whatever it was, that makes me happy. I knew the jab was landing. I knew a few leg kicks had landed. And so I was just trying to stay with what was working, and I tried to keep that throughout the entire fight.
To go off that, I think you landed 68 total significant strikes from distance. So was relying on the jab something you knew coming in would be open?
So I generally have a decent jab, like in the gym and against most of my opponents, but I'm also long for for my size. I think I had a 4.5 or 5-inch reach advantage over him. So I knew just flash jab. My corner was yelling flash jab, and I do that already a lot anyway. But once I saw it was landing basically every time I threw it, I said fuck it, and I kept throwing it. Cool. Thank you guys.